Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited for these videos. I say videos because I'm uploading 3 right now. You guys are probably watching them, but I'm really excited about them because they're about thrifting, which is like probably one of the things I'm most passionate about in this world. I love shopping and I love doing it for cheap and I love doing it in a sustainable way. So this is going to be part 1, and it's going to be how I alter clothes from the thrift store if they're too big to make them fit my body, and also how I alter them just to make them more fashionable or stylish for like whatever fashion era we're going through right now. So if you guys are interested in how I alter my clothes from the thrift store, then keep watching.
Hey guys, so here's an example of a shirt that I really like that I bought from the thrift store for like $3 probably. But it's just a little bit too big, so I'm gonna use my foot as a pointer because my hands are a little occupied. But all I need to do is just take it in at the waist a little bit right here. So I'm just gonna do that. And then I'm gonna take it to my school and serge it to make sure that the edges don't fray. And if you don't know what serging is, it's this right here. It kind of looks like that. And I don't have a machine at my house, but you don't have to do that. You can just use the zigzag stitch on your machine, but since I have one available to me, I just figured why not. So yeah, I'll show you guys the before and after on my body. So as you can see, here's the shirt before I sew it. It's got quite a lot of extra fabric. I'm wanting it to look more like that rather than like all this extra stuff, but the sleeves fit well, so I'm not going to do any adjustments to that. And as you can see, I didn't feel like taking my dress off, so yeah, that's all I'm gonna do. I'll show you guys the after. Okay, so as you can see, I've already cut off this side. That's what it looked like before, and a really easy way to make sure you cut the same on the other side is to just flip it and put it in the exact position, and then cut along that. Now this one's got a couple layers, so I'm just kind of doing a rough guess, but should be generally the same. And because I'm not adjusting the sleeves on this one, I'm gonna take this away right now and make sure that I don't cut into the kind of like armpit area right there. So I just have to do a straight seam down here, and then I'm just gonna serge the edges right there. And it's super easy, and I won't have to do anything on the bottom, and yeah, I'll show you guys what it looks like when I'm done. Okay, so here's another example of a shirt that I got from the thrift store that's kind of like outdated, and I just, you know, like cropped shirts are more in right now rather than like these full-length tanks. So I'm gonna show you guys how I kind of make it more in style. I mean, this was literally $1.50. So here's one that I got from Goodwill a while back. It's a little big, and as you can see, I was talking about that serging earlier. It's got all this on the inside. So I'm just gonna serge along here, and then I think it'll look cute with the raw edge, so I'm just gonna leave it white. But this was a tank top just like this one, and I cut it into a crop top, and it made it super cute. Okay, so since I know I already like the length of this crop top because I've already worn it before, I'm just gonna go ahead and use it as kind of like a pattern per se for this one and cut this one to the same length. So it's really easy, and you just literally cut it straight across. And if you need a little help with that, you can use, I've got a ruler kind of like this one, and these are really good rulers to have if you sew because they're gridded rulers. I'll have to show you guys against the wall or something, but they have 2 inches across and then however many across here, so you can also use them as kind of like a sewing gauge. So that's nice, but I'm just gonna make sure it's a straight line. And I'm usually really good at eyeballing it, so that looks good to me. Okay, super easy. Okay, so here I am just pictured at my school serging my shirt,
As you can see, I'm doing the tank top, and right now I'm about to show you what the finished result looks like. So there it is. I decided to leave it raw, and then here's another shirt from the thrift store I decided to cut and crop and then serge the edges. I'm doing it here, and I thought I'd leave these raw too because it looked really cute. And then on the last shirt I did, which is just like a little white Lacoste polo shirt, I'm going to flip it up and not leave it raw. Okay, so now I'm going to get in to a little bit more tricky things. So these two items I have got from the thrift store within the last 2 days, and they needed some minor adjustments, but they are trickier fabrics. Whoops, they're trickier fabrics, and they are trickier to just like fix, if that makes sense. So this shirt was from the thrift store. I'm pretty sure it just used to be like some little boy's old school uniform shirt. Like, that's what I love about the thrift store. I just like thinking about the stories of like who wore the clothes before me. It's so fun to think about. But this one I did get from the thrift store, and it's just a little Lacoste t-shirt, but I cropped it and cut it like I said with all the other shirts, and I went ahead and serged all the edges, so it serged all the way around. But because it's so stretchy and because I don't want the raw edge showing on this one, I'm gonna flip it up. Let me come show you, or let me at least zoom in. I'm gonna focus the camera. Because this one is a raw edge right now, I want to flip it over and sew it so that it looks like how it does on the sleeves, which my camera is really struggling right now. I want to flip it over and sew it like how it does on the sleeves, which is just like any old normal t-shirt. So I'm gonna do that right now. That's another thing about sewing shirts that are stretchy. You should never sew on a straight stitch because you're going to be pulling it over your head, and the second it stretches, all those stitches are just going to pop right out. So I'm going to be doing a zigzag stitch on this one today because I don't have the machine that does the same stitch as t-shirts. There's one at my school. I tried to use it today and it was not working, and there was no sewing text to help. So we're just going to do a zigzag stitch. I've got my trusty sewing machine. This one is new. It's heavy duty. It sews through like 5 layers of denim if I want it to, and it's amazing. And I love her because my old one would get jammed if I tried to do like 2 layers of cotton, and it was ridiculous because it was like $40. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip this up a 1/2 inch all the way around and put pins in it. And I'll show you what that looks like when I'm done because it'll be super long if I film that whole process. Okay, you guys, so I'm using my phone, but I've just flipped everything up about 1/2 inch. I'm pretty good at eyeballing it, so I didn't use anything fancy. And now I'm just gonna do a zigzag stitch all along here. Okay, so here's what it ended up looking like. That's just from a previous vid. On to our last item. This is one that is also a really easy fix. So, dresses. Super cute. I love finding them at the thrift store. Always too big on me. And I'm really not a fan of like the boxy dress. And while some people can pull that off, my body type has no curves to it whatsoever. So I really like to have things cinched at my waist. So this dress, for example, I thought it was really cute, really 90s. Loved the floral pattern. It's got really cute, like, what do you call it? I should know this because I'm a fashion student. Someone told me one time, but like the little squiggly lining, really thick straps, and then it's got this really cute neckline with a little bow. And I just think it's really cute, but it's too like floofy. So what I'm gonna do is take some elastic and make it tight right here so that it fits at my waist, like so. You can kind of get the idea. So as you can see, I was just talking about how I wanted to cinch the dress at the waist, which I do think would look really cute, but since the 90s are just like, wow, this is really staticky and sticking to my body right now. I need to put some dryer sheets in my dryer. I was playing with it and draping it, and I thought it would look actually really cute if I did the cinching right underneath my bust instead, so it looks more baby doll. I think that's so cute. It's so 90s, and I think that style is just really in right now, so I'm going to be doing that instead. And I'm going to show you guys how I do it. Alright, you guys, such is the creative process. So now that I've sat down and decided that I wanted to baby doll cinch this dress, it got me thinking, this is like the thing about sewing. It's like you have to think ahead, and that's why I like it, because you're always having to problem solve. And right now, I'm going to talk about the construction of how I'm going to turn this essentially into a baby doll dress. What I'm going to have to do is take I cannot speak right now. Take this dress and I'm going to cut it right here. But again, like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to leave room for seam allowance. So I'm going to measure out about where I want the elastic to scrunch up. And then I'm going to give a good inch of seam allowance instead of the 1/2, because I'm going to have to fold it up and be able to slide elastic through it. The elastic I'm using is like threaded elastic. I'm just going to use 2 strands of it because the other one I have is too big, and I think that those will do the trick. So I'm just going to use really thin elastic and scrunch it through. And then I'll sew the bottom half to that top half and then press the seams open. And I'm just going to do a zigzag stitch along all of the edges. So I hope that was like somewhat clear. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Okay, you guys, so I've gone around and measured my whole entire dress with all these little tiny blue markings and measured to make sure that they are the same length from the top all the way around. This one is about a little over 2.5 inches, and this one is a little over 2.5 inches. So I want to make sure that it's even all the way around. Now that I feel pretty safe cutting it, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it. Like I said, I want to leave about 1 inch of seam allowance so that when I fold it over, I'll still have enough room to slide the elastic through the front. And in the back, I'm just going to do the same seam allowance so that the dress still remains the same length. Alright, so boom, now it's cut. I'm going to go in and serge both the edges. Okay, so now that I have serged both pieces, I'm going to sew them back together, which might seem a little weird. Make sure that both pieces are inside out and that both your seams on both sides match up. Okay, so as y'all can see now, I have pinned the top to the bottom and made sure that it's inside out because we want our seam allowance to be on the inside of the dress, not the outside. And I've made the seam allowance on the top portion of the top bigger, so when I sew my 1/2 inch seam allowance, when I open it, this side is going to have a little extra room for me to fold it over, re-sew it, and slip the elastic through. Now I'm only going to do that on the front side. I'm not going to go all the way around the entire dress. I'm just going to do the front because that's the only place I want the cinching, and I think that way it should still fit over my hips and I won't have to put in a zipper like I thought I would. So that is exciting. So I'm going to go ahead and sew all the way around with my 1/2 inch seam allowance on a straight stitch, and I'll be back. I'm actually going to use this elastic from this shirt. If you guys have watched my XOXO haul, you'll know that this one did not work out. So I'm just going to recycle the elastic within this sleeve because it's actually the perfect size. And yeah, I'm going to use that instead of the thread, and that saves me a trip to the store and it recycles, so yay! Okay, so now you can see I've got this nice little pocket for all of the thread to fit through, and I'm just going to get a big embroidery needle and scrunch it through, and it's going to come in right through there. And then once I get that done, I'm going to actually measure the elastic to see how tight I need it. And then I'm going to cut it and I'm going to sew it right there, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side so that the elastic doesn't just slip out and move away, and then I will be done and I'll show you guys how it looks. Okay you guys, so this dress is done and I really like how it turned out. Here's the back. It still fits over my head completely fine. I'm so sorry I'm like cut out for this video, but my room is very small and I can only get so far away from the camera. I'm sitting on this little desk. Anyways, I really like how it turned out. It's super cute and it fits my small boobs pretty well. And here's what it looks like up close. It just fits right under there, and I think it's really flattering, and I think it's super cute. And I think another little dress like this from like Urban Outfitters would probably cost $60, and you can get a pretty similar look with like a little slip recycled from the thrift store, which is super exciting. Alright you guys, so that's the video. I hope it was helpful. I hope you guys got some really good tips and tricks for the thrift store and how like to alter your clothes and make them better suited for you and your body type. I hope it gave you some ideas. I hope it made you want to go thrifting, because sustainable shopping is always the best and nobody has the same clothes as you, and you can always look unique, and I love thrifting, and I'm going to shut up about it now. So if you guys like this video, then go ahead and give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. And if you guys want to see more thrifting related or sewing related videos, then just leave a comment down below. Bye!